Hello everyone, and welcome back to Season 1 of my Let's Play series. You have joined episode 25. I have just gotten done with the auto crafting of a vibrant capacitor bank, and I thought this might be a good place to start the episode. Basically what I've been doing is, as I've gotten the materials, I've been making more and more of these auto crafters for me, and I have been filling them up with just recipes here and there. And one of the recipes that I programmed in using our pattern grid was for a vibrant capacitor bank. And I don't know if I have gone over this in real detail about how the auto crafting works, but basically once you teach the machine using those patterns how to craft something, and you ask for it to be auto-crafted, you can click on the Start button. And I have all of the materials available if I wanted to start crafting another one. It says I have all the glowstone, all the redstone, all these different items are things that various and assorted pieces of the capacitor bank need. So to craft it, you actually need 4 of the octadic capacitors, electrical steel, and a vibrant crystal. And what I had to do was I had to go and tell the grid that this is the recipe for the vibrant crystal. And then I went and told it that this is the recipe for getting a vibrant alloy nugget. And I basically had to do that with each and every single component. I had to do that with the capacitors. I had to basically teach how to make every single component. And if you do that and are able to tell it, hey, I want this to equal a vibrant capacitor bank, since the grid knows each and every one of these components, when I go to ask for one, it's going to tell me, hey, you either have all the stuff, or if you don't, for instance, let's see, one of the things, what else have I taught it to make? Like if I wanted to make some reactor casing, for instance, which the grid does know how to make, I want to make a stack of them. Well, it says I'm missing 27 iron. So before I can craft 64 of these, I'm going to need to get 27 more iron. So it looks like I'm going to have to go and do some mining. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll probably do that between episodes, because I wanted to show you guys something else I was able to get done. And this has significantly increased our ability to continue with Britannia. This stuff that we're looking at is some dark glass from Extra Utilities. I also taught the grid how to make this stuff. It is some kind of black dye and thickened glass, which you can get. I did this in an alloy smelter with sandy glass, and you get sandy glass by crafting together any sand or any glass. And again, I had to teach the grid how to make each and every one of those components, so that when I'm able, or when I want dark glass, I can simply tell the grid I want dark glass, and it'll show me if I have all of the components to craft that with or not. I also made some of this dark ineffable glass, which I'm using as the entrances for my base now, and you guys will see that here in just a little bit. But I found some of these moonstones while I was out mining, and you can also craft them with some lunar reactive dust, which you get by putting lapis in a resonator. You take those and put them around a diamond, and that will also get you a moonstone. And basically what this dark ineffable glass does is it lets you, the player, or people on your team, walk in and out of buildings, but it will not allow, I don't believe it allow any mobs. It may let friendly mobs through, like cows or something. Honestly not sure about that one, but I know that the dark ineffable glass will not allow mobs to pass through. So basically what I've got on the other side of this glass, though, is a little bit of a mob killing room. We're getting some drops. I'm not really terribly interested in most of this stuff. Like I keep taking the cobblestone out of there, and I'm honestly just kind of throwing the cobblestone away. I've got one drawer here so that if they all fill up with stuff, the mob room will continue to function. If you build mob rooms, and I'll try to, let's see if I can't get us a sneak peek into here. I think my hammer's broken. There we go. As you can see, those green arrows there, those are actually vector plates. Basically what those do, if you throw an item onto it, see how it just kind of sucked it down? It'll do that on any of those. It pulls everything towards this wall over here, which it might be hard to see, but those are something called punji sticks. Let me plug this hole back up real quick. Punji sticks, some of you may have seen the giant pond of sugarcane I have around outside there. Basically, I wanted to make punji sticks, which take 5 pieces of sugar cane, and each one of those 5 like that will give me 3 of those punji sticks. And I found those to be incredibly useful for creating these. It's almost a vanilla style mob room with the exception of the vector plates, which those weren't terribly difficult to craft either. These are just the slow version. They have 3 versions. They have a slow, which I have, and the medium, and I know it says fast, and then extreme vector. Those were just crazy. These are just any kind of slime with any kind of stone and some sugar. Super easy to craft. The upgraded versions, though, those might be a little trickier. Dark sugar, which you get with sugar around wither dust. And this is a chiseled wither dust block. I mean, we're going to need to try to find some way of automating and killing of wither skeletons to do that. But basically what I have, you notice I have 3 drawers for ender pearls here. That's because if I flip this switch, what you may not have seen in there is the powered enderman spawner. And that is the sound of endermen dying, and the wonderful sound of us collecting ender pearls. Now, I've gone at the height, I had a little over 30 ender pearls, and I have been crafting my butt off to get the rest of the stuff that we have been waiting to get ender pearls for. I do have this on a switch because this spawner takes an incredible amount of power. So basically, I'll get a good quantity, maybe 3 or 4 stacks of ender pearls most of the time, and then I'll just go ahead and flip the switch back off. Because that does take an immense amount of power. And when this thing fills up, I'm going to let it take its sweet time to fill up. I don't want to push it too hard. But basically, when that fills up, I'm going to replace these 2 capacitors with that one. And I'll probably go ahead and move one of these to each of the upstairs. That way we'll have a nice 5 million capacitor bank ready to charge stuff for us. But anyway, hopefully it's daytime out there, and it is. So let's head out to our Britannia area, where I have definitely been doing some crafting. I've been waiting for you guys to show up so that I can go ahead and see if this will work. Excuse me. To craft this gate, let's go ahead and look at the Elven core, if it'll let me bring it up in the JEI. And it won't, so we'll probably need Lexica Britannia. There we go. This thing. Oh man, this was not that hard to craft. It wasn't that hard to build, as you can see. I did manage to get it built. The hard part, believe it or not, was crafting these little pylons. That was kind of rough. I had to get some Terra steel. which I was able to get our agglomeration plate built. That is still difficult for me to say. But we should have a decent assortment of stuff here, so I can show you guys how this is working over here. And I also did get the coal automated, just by the way. So we are constantly feeding these guys, and we are pretty good on mana right now. So basically, to craft this Terra Steel, and I'm still going to want to craft a fair amount of it, believe it or not, we just right-click this stuff, and you can see those cool particle effects from the sparks, which I also had to craft. Let's take a look at that recipe. That is some blaze powder, any 2 of the mystical petals, and a gold nugget will get you these sparks. And you want to make sure that you right-click them directly above a mana pool. And then whatever source you're getting, or you're giving the mana to, you want to make sure that it's directly above that as well. And this wasn't terrible to craft this thing. That's just some living rock and some lapis lazuli blocks in this little checkerboard. And then under the agglomeration plate, there is another piece of living rock. So I needed 5 pieces of living rock and 4 blocks of the lapis. Well, not terrible. Not terrible at all. But we've got some Terra Steel now. That's how I get the Terra Steel. You just drop on one of these mana pearls, a mana diamond, and a mana steel ingot. It takes about a third of, so I've got like 3 of these mana pools pulling from it. So it takes about a third of a pool each to craft this stuff. There's 2 more. And this is a slow process for me crafting this stuff. I think that puts me up to 9 now. We've got 9 mana steel ingots. So let's see if this guy, let's try to take a look at that recipe again. Yeah. 3 glimmering living wood. That was crazy. Let's take a look at the recipe for that again. That was the living wood and the glowstone. Not difficult at all. And then this elven gateway core, I think. Trying to find that again. There it is. Yeah, the Terra Steel nuggets. See, that's what was hard. Was it took a while to figure out how to to be able to craft all the sparks, because I had to grow the flowers, and oh man, it was a lot of fun to get this all set up. And I kind of moved the runic altar to make room for our gateway here. And in crafting those pylons, that was crazy. First we had to craft the mana pylon, which took a little bit of gold, some Terra Steel, or some mana steel ingots, excuse me, and some mana diamonds. And then the Eye of Ender, that's what we were desperately waiting on all of our Ender pearls for. And I managed to get 2 of these crafted. So when you hit the core center here with your wand, it should try to fire up. And if I have enough mana, it should open up a portal. And one of the first things I'm going to want to do is I should be able to throw our Lexica Britannia book through it. And when you get it back out, this is what you get. A message from the Elven Guard. So basically we have 2 schools of knowledge in here. You can see, you probably saw it with my other book, because I actually have already done this. Wanted to make sure it was working. I didn't want you guys to watch this long and then be disappointed because it didn't work. So I already threw the book through there. I crafted another one real quick. But man, we have all kinds of new stuff to learn about. This is where we're going to learn what kind of stuff we can throw through. Like I can throw this living wood through here and we'll get dream wood. We can try that out. See if we've got any living wood. I might have it in the grid. Yeah, there's some. Maybe I read it wrong. Weird. Wow. This is why I wanted to kind of test out this portal and stuff a little beforehand. Because I could have sworn that should have, I didn't think we had to do anything special. Maybe I didn't throw enough through. Well, those are living wood planks. Maybe I don't have any living wood. Maybe that's what's really going on. Well, there's one way to take care of that. We'll come back and check on that in just a couple minutes. While we're waiting on that, because we'll come back and we'll play and find out a little bit more about that portal. I don't know if you guys saw these doors and how cool they are, but basically I don't have to worry about getting tripped up by vanilla doors anymore. I can just run in and out of my base and mobs can't come in after me. So I think that's going to work out pretty well. I wanted to show you one of the other things I was working on getting set up for the crafting with the auto crafter is I am trying to see if I can get an empowerer to work with the auto crafter, and I think I can. Pretty sure all we're going to need to do is filter these guys. If we can filter it so they can only accept certain items, we should be able to basically teach it that if I want some kind of empowered block, I should be able to tell it to deposit those items from this into the chest where they'll get sucked out, and because of the filters should go to where they need to go, and then the empowered item will come back through into the chest and then get sucked into the grid. Because I should be able, I'm pretty sure I need to have an open hand for this part. There we go. Because this I can filter here as well. Here I can tell it to only import certain items. So if I fill this up with the empowered item that I want to have auto-crafted, then this should work this way. I may need to set up more than one empower, because I mean, even if we went with the advanced filters, we'd still only be able to do up to like 10 items. And I'm not sure exactly how many items we're going to want to have set up for auto crafting in the empowerer. But I know a lot of these recipes that I'm going to want to do, a lot of the items that I'm going to want to craft require empowered items. So I think being able to get that on demand would be the way to go. And I also think that probably over here somewhere, or I may dig back into here some. I'm also going to try to set up some kind of an auto atomic reconstructor. That's something else I've got planned. And then down here, this area is going to end up having a slice and splice because I also am going to want to be able to craft some of those. There's a lot of items I need a Z-Logic controller for. So I should be able, that's my vibrant, to just basically pop this down like nothing ever happened. And I'm going to want to change this. Let's take this down to, say, 85% for now. We'll come back and check on it. But that should be kosher. May need to break this. I'll try that. Let's put some of our stuff away, though, because my inventory is super full. This is why I made this wireless grid, by the way. Oh, that reminds me. Did I put my battery in here? Nope. Lost my battery somewhere. I'll craft another one later. So let's get that out of there. And try to pick this up. And if I just set it back down, I think that will give us what we want. Oh, there we go. How about that? Active with signal. I knew there was something going on. Haha. It's always the little things I forget about. All right, so we have moved that up to 25 million RF. That's going to be a decent amount of storage for a while. Our canola seeds are finally starting to catch back up to us, I believe. And having that much power stored, I think, is going to help get that collection back up. And putting in these magmatic generators definitely also helped. Because they give a pretty big influx of power like right away, and then I think it's like 40 RF a tick after that, roughly. I could be wrong about that last number, but they give a huge boost right away, and I'm finding out that I like that. So let's head back up to our Britannia area, where I'm pretty sure that our living wood is going to be done. I'm kind of curious to see the streamwood. All right, now we've got some living wood. I did read in the new material from the new Lexica we got, there's some greenwood. If you throw an item in that they haven't agreed to trade with, you can see that's pretty quick. Now we've got this pretty cool looking greenwood. So that's pretty nice. I like that. Well, that'll be nice. It's a pretty good color. So wow, what else can we throw through there? Oh yeah, we can throw that through to get elementium. Pixie dust from mana pearls. Mana diamonds give us dragon stones. Oh, elven quartz, that is crazy. If I throw through mana glass, how do we get mana glass? That looks interesting. throwing regular glass into, oh, that's cool. So let's see what that looks like. I think I should be just within range of a wireless transmitter. Get out a little piece of glass and let's try that out. That's why I have one mana pool that isn't serving it, so I can do stuff like this, just by the way. So there's our glass, and I should be able to throw that through. And what is this stuff now? Well, that wasn't exactly where I meant to put it. But cool, I get it back. Regular vanilla glass just shatters. Well, that is cool. I wonder if I can walk through it. Or if it's... Because it... Man, it almost looks like it's not even there. That's pretty neat. So cool. I think... I wonder how much mana these have. These are still doing pretty good. So I think it's safe to say that we have got a pretty good automation system going on. My main mana pool is full, and it's serving all these other ones. Or all these, it's serving what? 6 more mana pools and a runic altar. So I'd say this isn't going too bad. Lots of different mods working together, so we can do some pretty cool stuff, I think. So, wow. So I guess between now and the next episode, I'm going to start working on probably, I want to say, immersive engineering. I'm still going to be reading up on, the different kinds of things we'll be able to make now that we have this Elven portal. But I can tell you that I am going to have to be making quite a bunch more of this Terra Steel. 9 isn't going to give us anywhere close to what we're going to want to be doing. So instead of, just dragging this out and, okay, here it is 5 episodes later and I've almost got half as much Mana Steel as I need, we're going to just keep making Mana Steel, but while I'm making Mana Steel, I think what I'd like to do is come over to this area here, into this nice, lovely waterfront, and I want to start getting into some immersive engineering. That is a pretty technically challenging mod. There's a lot of recipes that we have to pay really close attention to. We're going to have to build some special machines. It is capable of generating RF with its own machines, so I definitely want to do that. I think immersive engineering is going to be really fun. And I'm thinking that probably right over here is going to be a good place to start on it. And of course, if anything fun develops more with Britannia, with stuff we'll be able to craft once I can get enough of the Terra Steel, then we'll definitely swing back over and take a look at that. But I think for now, this is as far as I can go with Britannia, other than possibly throwing in some items in here to do some cool stuff. There is a lot of other automated setups we can do with Britannia, but I think the best way for us to go right now is to start working with some immersive engineering things. I think some of the stuff that we've already built and some of the stuff that we have already gotten from Britannia here is going to be of a great help with that mod. And so that's probably what I'm going to end up getting into. And I still want to do something over here. I'm thinking I'll probably try to build some kind possibly of maybe a restaurant, some kind of something to house all of the foodstuffs. Because I've got a lot of food that I'm not really doing anything with over here. Setting up bit more of this rice because they are really handy when you don't have another source of slime. I mean, we've got quite a few slime islands around, so slime's not really a problem for us. But I like having the rice because it's versatile. You can also make bread with it. But yeah, we have all these farms, so I want to try, automating and getting something done with the farms. I've got them to where they're auto feeding, and I did find a pig. As soon as I get another pig, I'll probably do another animal pen over here. But I'm thinking there's probably going to be a way to automate these drops as well. I don't know if I'm going to do like maybe some vacuum chests over here or something. But I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be collecting resources if we can help it. This is what I do once in a while. I just come over and get all the food and make sure all the animals are fed. I think those guys are full. I think these guys needed to eat, if I remember. And I think the chickens are probably cool. Yeah, oh yeah, they're cool. So any extra grass seeds, I've just been taking over here to the Britannia area because there is still quite a bit to do with Britannia. There's lots of different baubles and stuff we can get. There it is. There's all different kinds of baubles. I'm interested in this Pyroclast pendant. It's going to need some mana infused string, a rune of summer, rune of fire. Do I have a rune of fire, by the way? I have one rune of fire. What do we need for the rune of summer? Just out of curiosity. Rune of earth, a melon. I don't think I have any melons, so that would be relatively difficult to craft. I don't think I've seen any watermelons yet. Oh, good news. More ender pearls. I don't even think I have melon seeds. No, so I'll have to find some melons to do that. But this is what we go through, to find stuff that we want to craft. I've still been working on the upstairs, by the way, and I guess this might be a good way to wrap up the episode. I can show you guys how these conduit facades work. Basically, to craft a conduit facade, we're going to deal with a material that we should all be pretty familiar with. These little guys, the conduit binder. 8 of those in a circle like that gives us a conduit facade. And then we can take our conduit facades, and they will go in this slot right here. And I've already painted up quite a few of them. And I want these painted up like my marble prism here, because I kind of want to cover in how I've done my lamps here. So instead of breaking all that glass, I'm just going to break this, because remember, those vanilla glass is going to break into shards. You don't always get all of the shards that you need. You need 4 shards. 4 shards will remake the glass pane, but a lot of times you only get 3. And you can see these conduit facades make it look like they are those marble prism blocks that I use. But they are made specifically to cover conduits, hence the conduit facade. And all the things you do when your inventory is full. So I took out one of the real prism blocks that I didn't mean to. There we go. And now I should be able to put this stuff right back. Now let's switch. I didn't mean to place those. Those are in my offhand. I don't even know how that happened. There we go. I have built in Minecraft once or twice. So now when I come over here, it just kind of looks like my standard downstairs windows, and I don't have to see those conduits. And then up here you can see I've got my crawl space back here, and I am still gathering the marble I need to get this completely finished up here, but we're almost done with the renovations on the second floor as well. And hopefully, if I did math, I should have more than enough of these. Provided I stop placing them down there, of course. See? Isn't that nice? Get out a few more of the big tiles. Still used to working with the drawers. There we go. One of the stack of them. And there we go. I have built in Minecraft before. It's not really going to make anything look different from the outside. But I do like that it is the same now. And I've got one more window to do down there, I think. I think I already did this one. That one I'll just have to get in there when I've got some time and put the prism block in there as well. And we're almost done with the renovations, or at least the phase 1 renovations of the base. There's still more to come. I almost always add on to my bases. But I think that is going to wrap up episode 25. Thank you for watching the episode. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, be sure to leave me a thumbs up. And if you want to be notified of more videos I put out in the future, be sure to subscribe so you'll get notified. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by today, and take care.